Okay. The rest of the dragon egg. So we done the yolk. Now we're gonna do the master strand. So up the 9 worlds. I'm a little less grounded today than I was yesterday. I'm a little more in the air element than I was yesterday, where I was in that metal. There we go. There's some metal. All right, so we take the metal DNA strand from the bottom. If you want to do the 9 worlds. So 4 below, and then the yolk world, and then 4 above the yolk world. And then send it clockwise, spiraling. Today I made a, today I graduated from my Facebook. God's telling me to stop with my Facebook posting and do all my teachings only on my website. And like, let's see how much, or on Pinterest or something. Like, let's see how much time that I can actually do more quality work without worrying about Facebook. Because it just sucks my energy. Huh? Oh, did you just say it too, that I should stop doing the Facebook? Yeah, no, that's why you're my Archangel Kamail in training. Like, help. Like, if you're saying the same thing as God, yeah, it probably is true. Yeah. We're just doing the DNA strand up the center, clockwise, all the way through. Yeah. Basically what you just said to me, Archangel Kamail in training, was if Lucifer says real God, it's that. Because when Lucifer says real God to God, then that's like Lucifer saying, I know that that's real God. No, nobody knows how lucky they are to have me. Nobody. Nobody. You guys lack gratitude completely. I know. No, he gets how good I am. You guys never, none of you guys. It's just none of you. He's saying they should be thankful they have me instead of him. And that's true. Hey, you guys know nothing. I'm like the happy Nanny McPhee version of like, ick. He says if I'm Nanny McPhee, he's Pinhead from Hellraiser, and that's not far from the truth. And to even, you'd have to be an Archangel Kamail in training to ever even identify with Pinhead from Hellraiser, just so you understand. That's a dragon. That's a dragon grid. And I've gone through it. Hmm? Yeah. All right. All right. So then we spiral, make sure that it goes up clockwise up to your higher self. Man. Did you ever watch the show Sex Ed yet? No. It's kind of a teen comedy, but it's good. Anyway, there's the girl in the show is named Maeve, and they call her Cockbiter, but she's like a dark version of Hermione Granger. Okay. And like she's like this to everyone. She's never gonna be PC because she's smarter than everybody. PC is, yeah, correct. Believe me, I know. Anyway, I ended my Facebook on the note like, if I am nothing, you guys are definitely fucking nothing. Everyone. Yeah, that's correct. Not like nothing like goo on your shoe. It's like it's an attainment of mastery, of such deep discipline, you can hardly handle it. That can I rehash that joke for the boys and girls out there? If you're gonna use fish bait, no, if you want to catch fish, you've got to use fish bait. If you want to catch false masters, you master bait, which is pretty much what I see from almost every spiritual teacher on the planet, except for like people like Star and Elaine and like the Dalai Lama is definitely a masturbator. I agree. Oh, I agree. I agree, Archangel Kamael. I definitely agree. He said you'll learn more from the average artist or physicist or what else did you say? Astronomer. Yeah, you'll learn. You met Esther Hicks. God, she's the fucking hack of the century. Like, you got thrown out. Oh God. Oh my God. You got kicked out of Esther Hicks for challenging the law of attraction, or her version of the law of attraction. That's hers. That's not what the law of attraction is. Her version of the law of attraction, where opposites do not pull together and only like vibrations attract. And he says magnets and then gets kicked out. That's science. Wait, what about women and men? Like for sex. That's another. So in the mystery school, they teach it like this. In the higher spiritual planes, the opposites don't attract in the higher spiritual planes. And in the physical spiritual planes, the opposites attract. Okay? And then the higher spiritual planes, it's like and like. I don't have an answer for that, but we'll see. That's correct. Yeah. He just says there is not an absolute shitty formula. And I like that. That's a discernment teaching. Yeah. That's where people will never pass Hode. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. That's a good thought. I'm not going to rehash that because that was a nice long story. But so we're making sure that the DNA strand, now that you've gotten to the top and it's gone clockwise, is now going to plug into the spine on all 9 worlds. Dragons. Dragons aren't snakes, they eat snakes. the, the closest thing to the dragon is the cobra for the snakes. That's why the cobra represents mastery and why it opens its head and stands up. Okay. Now imagine a cobra with wings and then breathing fire. And now we've brought, huh? So that's what Hathor showed me When I was asked if dragons existed in Egypt, and Hathor showed me Lucifer manifesting as a black cobra, but as a black cobra dragon right over her right shoulder out of thin air. And then I looked and I found one of those snake with wings. And I'm like, of course Egypt had dragons. Yeah, every culture has dragons. Charlie says, not my culture. We only have dragons. Because Charlie's a dragon. Huh? Yeah, he was making he's making fun of it. That was the dumbest. Huh? Good. You're putting it, you're clawing it into the bones. I'm gonna go over the vertebrae too. So that was the dumbest joke Charlie's ever made. I've never heard Charlie make a dumb joke before, and now I feel him hiding. Like, if Charlie's making a dumb joke, that says something. Oh man, I'm sorry, Charlie. See, he knows he's not perfect. All right. Man. Usually almost everything out of Charlie's mouth is like transcendently profound. And then I got that joke and I'm like, whoa. Charlie's like, I have to make up for that joke. Maybe there will be some weirdo spiritual teaching in it. Maybe his spiritual teaching in it is that he's nothing to. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, that was Charlie's pushing teachings. It's him letting go of his identity as a dragon. Going, he's nothing to, not even a dragon. I'm just, just funny. That's the profound teaching. All right. We can let go of that. Go back to dragon. So let's start with the vertebrae. And you can imagine the vertebrae in every single version throughout all 9 worlds, it clawing in as I do this. And you can see it in front of you. So coccyx 1, coccyx 2, coccyx 3, coccyx 4, coccyx 5, nope, sacrum 1. I like it when I catch myself. It reminds me I wasn't being mindful and seeing it. Sacrum 2, sacrum 3, sacrum 4, sacrum 5. That's the one teaching to come through about being accurate and precise. Is that when you're mindful, It's a way to measure how mindful you're actually being. All right, going clockwise, keep going clockwise through those spinal columns up into lower lumbar 1, and we'll call it L5 because that's the name. L4, L3, L2, L1. Make sure all 4 above you goes through that, and all the belows go through that. It'd be really good if you guys even knew what these bones look like. So maybe you should go online and look at your spinal column and see, and here's a better version, learn how to draw them. All right, we're gonna do the etheric plane. No, but my higher self doesn't have T14. All right, let's fake it till we make it. T14 in the etheric world, T13 in the etheric world. And then we go back to the physical world, T12. T11. T10. T9. T8. T7. T6. T5. T4. T3. T2. T1. Take a deep breath in, exhale out. Make sure all of those go deeper in all those vertebrae. And maybe you start looking and seeing the tail, and then maybe those wires need to go through all the tail vertebrae. We still have more to do. Okay, C7. I'll give you a minute to catch up with the tails. All right. Make sure your lower selves, tails, good. That's good. You need those lower selves. Everyone has a lower self. Lots of them. The fact I have to say that out loud is insanity. All right. Yeah. Okay. So then we go C7, clockwise, C6, C5, C4, C3, C2, C1. Here we go. Brainstem, third eyes, pituitary, 2 of them, and then pineal. And then up through the crowns, and then join everything. Send those wires to climb and climb down and join. Heal that broken DNA. This is the metal bending wire. And yeah, you can go home and do this with other strands. It might be better to do the metal first. I don't know. Yeah. Breathe in, exhale. All right, send it up through the spine and down through the spine. And then at least 4 wires make an octahedron around you. You go, oh, that feels thin. Should. And it makes, so 4 wires up and 4 wires down. And then it makes an octahedron around you. And then you build the pyramid structure or the octahedron structure, and you seam the baseline, the middle, you braid the seam going clockwise. Man, does that feel shitty. It's like I live in an air bubble. That should be a teaching for everyone, or fucking bubble people. Everyone. Mm-hmm. All right, now the Protego Totalum grid. Okay, so that's that goober jelly charm with the matrix structure on it. Good. And then we do the salviohexia honeycomb with blue sparkles on the outside of the Protego Totalum charm. And it's got the metal honeycomb. And it's like other people's spells are never going to even get near me. That's the intent. Doesn't anybody see that like this is God? Like, man. They're like, oh, this just feels like slavery. The discipline it takes to create freedom makes you feel like it's not freedom. All right, Fianto Duri. Probably because it's Kabbalah. Like, you have to have that. You have to have mastery over Gebra to get into Hesed. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, mine's a little less cruel. Got it. Got it. Okay, so now we do another octahedron around us, and then we put another protego totalum grid around that. Oh, make sure that the Fianto jury grid has both the Mobiuses and the purple spheres. So with this next octahedron, we do the protego totalum grid. That's and then we do the salvio hexia charm on it. And you should feel the metal in these. Man, I need to email my sister. Let's say I need another 15 minutes. Like Nell from the movie. Okay. No, my sister kind of is my opposite, but she's not. If I am Arya, she is Khaleesi. Yeah, but nobody understands what Khaleesi is until they meet my sister. Yeah. You'd have to understand the dragons. Understand them to be Khaleesi. None of you understand the dragons. Most of you guys can't even talk to the dragons. Most of you guys can't even follow direction from the dragons. Yeah, most of you guys can't even talk to your children. Yeah, we're at Salvio Hexia, and then we make sure it's got the blue sparkle dust and the black goo also with the pearl. And gods come. For the kids' versions of this stuff, I call it God's fertility juice. Because it is. God's balls. Mm-hmm. All right, let's get the Fianto Duri spell on this, but this time do it. I'm hearing from God. Just put it in the fucking purple. Put the purple spheres and Mobiuses that sparkle. Fianto Duri charm. All right, now I like how these recordings make you feel ultra mysterious, Archangel Kamael, because they cannot hear you at all. I know. He is very mysterious. Don't worry, they can psychically ping you and feel how powerful you are. This is smart. Eh. Yeah, well, most people think I'm already insane as it is, so me making you up in my head wouldn't be far-fetched. You want better hair? We'll get you better hair. All right, next. So one more octahedron, and then braid the seam. And then it should start feeling pretty solid in your energy field. It shouldn't feel as thin as it did the first time. So yeah, get that octahedron braided at the seam, and then the Protego totalum with the goober jelly. I've been working with this guy for a year. The first time I met him, he had this really, really weird paragraph online that I was supposed to read. And I was like, this guy sounds nutso. And I pull out my tarot deck and it goes Ace of Wand and the Hermit. And I'm going, no matter how nutso he sounds, I am going to contact him. And he ended up being more sane than the rest of any of you guys. Seriously. He's rad. He is very sane, even by human standards. I know. He even showed up in London, and I got to meet him, and he's like really nice, like really sensitive, and like nice. Like, all right, Protego totalum. Huh? In the form of an owl, you showed up. Kinda. All right. I wasn't even doing so hot then. Now I'm much, much better. So now we've got, huh? Okay, Protego totalum around the egg, and around the octahedron, and then we do another layer of the salviohexia honeycomb with the blue and purple and black targu. And this one, we should pour the dragon yolk on again. My sister can suck it. Another 15 more minutes. We get 15 minutes to do this, the rest of this egg. Mm-hmm. My sister is not British. My sister she's a Berkeley granola hippie turned lawyer. Like, a Zoomer. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't heard that expression before, but it feels good. All right. All right. So, Charlie gave my sister the dragon red justice. That's her name. Charlie's a boy or girl? Boy. All right. There's a girl red justice too. She's smarter. Man, she's faster. Okay. So dragon yoke round. That's Salvi, and then we do the Fianto Duri. Nope, we put God's cum on it. Should feel milky white ivory wisdom pearl on top of it. And then there should be a transfiguration cat grid on top of that with maturity and wisdom and gratitude. So this transfiguration charm grid is maturity, grounding, developing, maybe developing higher wisdom insight than any of you guys can possibly handle in your puny PC oriented brains. Yeah, remember, this is the Matrix. Mm-hmm. That's cool, actually. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if you're reductionist about the Matrix, like somehow God and virtues don't exist, then you're missing the point. The point is that everything that is outside of virtues is delusion. And so like the guys that go, oh, well, women just want to be treated like shit, unless they're coming from some masterful empowerment and they've been trained by like Baba G or something and understand stick training from a higher structured discipline standpoint, because they are masters, then they're just filled with shit. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Man, that was the funniest thing you've ever said. All right, so it's not repeatable. All right, will do. So we have the transfiguration around our egg, or our octahedron. Now we need to we need the Fiantoduri above that. Maybe someday I'll do this video again, and then we'll put it online and you guys can watch it again, or you guys can memorize these steps. And you don't have to listen to us chit chat. Yeah, writing them on computer pearls is even more. Grounding it. All right. All right, we've got 5 minutes. We've got 5 minutes to get the lotus, the scales, and everything on the outside. So here is the metal bending lotus, or the metal element metal bending lotus. Hopefully we can make them one. And then you plug it into the spine. Receive it from the ethers. It should look silvery and glowy. And then it bleeds up all the way up, and it bleeds down all the way down. And then there's the exoskeleton wire that begins to spiral around the egg, going clockwise. Now, the scales begin to build around the egg. Yeah, the egg's pretty big, isn't it? You've got a big ego. You see how that's a positive thing now? It's not a big negative ego, it's just a big ego. That's correct. Yeah. That's the difference between ego and shadow. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Healthy egos. That's Yesod. So this is Kabbalah teaching. If you do not have a healthy ego, it usually manifests as participating in a pedophilia rape culture. And then it's like, oh, that's the shadow. So healthy egos are everything. That's correct. Keep doing your egg. Keep doing your egg. We've only got a couple minutes. Okay. The scales go all the way up, 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 up. And then if you want to fill your scales with all those spells and intentions that we did yesterday, I highly recommend it. Like Protego Totalum, Salvio, Hexia, all of them. Fionto Jury, the Transfiguration, more of that goo coming through, right? Intelligentsia. Okay. And then the soul and the heart center, love, light, portal vortex through the night. That should be green sparkle dust. Greens, like Moana holding the star. Okay. So that should be good. Now make sure that the DNA, the metal bending DNA, porcupines through each scale and then builds the metal mesh around the egg. And then do the pearl goo jelly glue on the outside of wherever the holes are with the metal mesh. And then we do another layer of metal mesh, and then black tar heroin goo will be on the outside of that. Goo glue. And then another layer of metal mesh. And this is purple spirit glue goo. And then another layer of metal mesh. And then this is the carmine Kali taffy glue. Oh, don't forget the Repello Muggletum spells and the Repello Squibtum spells. That should be inside of your egg as well. Mm-hmm. You're good. We should have a red plus blue angel wing spell. So that's going to go into the egg too. Maybe it will just manifest as like simple. No, it will just be a new spell coming through. Should be red on the right side and blue on the left side. Like your left wing should be blue, like the Democratic Party. Your right wing should be red, like Republicans. Funny. And then we go, oh my God. What? We have to be both Democrat and Republican? Yeah. That's intelligent. Maybe we can get something done. All right. There we go. Mm. So that black that taffy, carmine taffy, should be on the outside of your egg. Okay. And then we sprinkle it with phthalo green sparkle dust from the mermaids. That's mean, and it creates it to boil. Now your egg's boiling and turning into a candy apple red. Like, you're a seraphim, you pieces of shit. You guys are some spiritual warriors. It's the same thing, Archangel Carmyle. Man. Candy apple red looks perfect. And then you throw that indigo-y Peruvian phthalo blue, Peruvian blue, sparkle blue dust, Prussian blue. That's the invisibility charm. That helps you so that people can't see your thoughts, just like people can't see God's thoughts. Do you understand? So that you can start thinking things and they don't know who you are. Like Baba G. That's why nobody knows what Baba G is thinking until he shows up to show them. Man. And then what's after that? We're gonna bless by Priestess Silver Star energy. So then it's silvery goo. And God saying fuck you to you and putting gold on there too. And then coats it in honey, and then we ask a dragon to light it on fire and turn it into an egg. Oh, do we do red? Oh, the red sparkle powder to make sure it keeps going and growing. Yeah, because you're Gryffindor, asshole. We're Gryffindors at the end of the day, no matter how Slytherin I ever sound. God makes sure that I'm a Gryffindor. Godric Gryffindor. God's a dick. Gryffindor. You guys don't understand until you really understand God. Man. You guys are all right, we're burning it. Yeah, just remember, you motherfuckers are still muggles or squibs. You guys are squibs still. Till you're teleporting. Nobody knows how actually nice I am except for him. Like, nobody. You guys think I'm mean. I'm not mean. You guys are mean. Like Bob and G with the razor blades. Yeah. Yeah, no. I don't even, I've heard them and felt them. All right, so we're, no, I don't need to know. Okay, make sure it's burned. And my sister is just feeling, bleh. Okay, so make sure it's burned and we feel good. Like waking up a new paradigm. Yeah, it feels nice to get that Gryffindor stuff going on. So here's the teaching. The Slytherin, you to go from muggle to witch or wizard, you got to go through the Slytherin transformations and then ascend into the Gryffindor space. Idiots. That's why the Slytherins hate muggles so much, by the way. Because they're just like, we already know how much work we did to just get from Muggle to Slytherin and how fucking gross the Muggles are. So that's where the Slytherins are at. And then when you get to Gryffindor, you're like, I'm over all of it. I'm over the vanity, the Netzach vices, like the loot, like the narcissism, like Narcissa. I'm over the narcissism of the Netzach. So then you go into Gryffindor and you're like, yeah, and you understand what God is. And you understand God is like 10,000,000 times better than Dumbledore. You're like, oh, fuck. Okay, on that note, huh? This is why he's an asshole. All right. He says, and 1/10 as good as a cat. All right, I'm out. Color out. Bye. You guys know nothing.